Hi, welcome to Main Street Macro. I'm Neela Richardson. Usually, when we talk about the economy, we stick to the big picture. We talk about the national numbers and the macro economy. But there's a lot of action and economic activity that goes on at the state level. So I thought as we turn the corner into August and peak vacation season, it would be a great idea to take a road trip of sorts. Let's call it an economic road trip around the country. The first stop, one of three, is economic growth. And here there is some good news because at the start of the year, all 50 states and the District of Columbia were actually growing. In fact, the fastest growing states were North Dakota, 12.4%, but also in double digits, South Dakota and Nebraska. Now, we did have some laggards, Rhode Island and Alabama at just 0.1% growth on an annualized rate. We're barely treading water. But the good news is that the big picture, even if you add up all the states, is a country that's growing. Now, the second place we're going on our economic road trip is employment. You see, the unemployment rate nationally is at 3.6% in June. That's near record levels. And there are so many states, 38 in fact, that are either near their record lows or very close to them. In fact, six states reached a record in June of last year. So, incredibly tight labor market around the country with very little job loss at the state level. The third place and the final place that we're stopping on our economic road trip is one of my favorites as chief economist at ADP, the large payroll company. Yes, you guessed it. It's income and wages. And the highest paid state in the union is actually not a state, it's the District of Columbia, where the typical worker in the private sector makes over 95,000 a year. Now, the second most highly paid state doesn't even come close. The typical worker makes 25,000 less, and that state is Massachusetts. Now, these states are states with high levels of income, but the fastest growing region of the country, you'd have to go from the East Coast all the way over to the Mountain West. And there you find really fast growing states when it comes to wage growth. Those states include Wyoming, Montana, Washington State, and Idaho. That entire region just on fire when it comes to wages. So we've seen how the economy is very diverse, very different across states, but all adding up to this picture, this complex picture of the national economy. And we're going to dive deep into all that data at the national level this week with that all important jobs number, the highlight of all the economic news and reactions. So, for more information on the week ahead, including that very important jobs report led off by ADPRI's National Employment Report on Wednesday, please check out our website at adpri.org. Happy travels.